Yeah, he went to get a drink there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Blackout Gaming TV, as we've got the last game of the week 2 of ETF2L Season 11 Premiership Highlander, and it is a corker, if I do say so myself. It's a rivalry going back all the way to Season 5, as two teams that weren't here in Season 10 come back into the Premiership for this season to try and fight for a better place than the last time they appeared. In one corner we've got Tourettes Chessclub, one of the most successful teams in Europe of all time. However, the last time they were here they did lose the grand final in Season 9, whereas Stacked, who were promoted to Premiership at the same time as Tourettes Chessclub, haven't always had a better time of it, not reaching the playoffs except for one season. And the last time around they did get relegated, but they're back with new rosters. I'm back again. My name's CeeJaey, and with me tonight again is Bulow. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, thank you, CeeJaey.
I was hoping you'd say something a little bit more because I was about to take a sip of my drink, but it's fine. It's
no,
fine.
I can talk more if you want.
Just tell me about the rivalry between these two teams.
Well, like I said before, I never really concerned myself with these lower Prem teams when I was playing, but Beep, the leader of Stack, just has a certain way about him that generally tends to lend itself to rivalries very well. And I think it was maybe at its most fierce at the very beginning, whenever there would have been lots of play in UGC, and when they both contested first place in Season 5 of Division 1. But I think it's maybe waned as things have gone on, as waned as Stacked have basically kind of, as you said, gotten relegated, whereas Chessclub went on to win 2 titles. But no, I think maybe Chessclub are a bit lower down the pecking order themselves. Maybe things will reignite a little bit.
I mean, when we look back to Season 5, when the two teams were playing in the old Division 1, there was this kind of... There was close. It was close between the two teams, and Chess won the head-to-head between them, and they went on to win Division 1, where Stacked came in second. However, during UGC Platinum season, there was a time when Stacked beat Chess in the final. So Stacked actually won UGC Platinum before Chess did, and there was this kind of rivalry between the two teams going into Prem for Season 6. Season 6, Chess obviously went on to finish third, behind It's All Good and Highlander, whereas Stacked kind of seem to remember them finishing sort of 5th or something like that. The only time they got into the playoffs was Season 7, and they lost out in the first round to Premtech, whereas Chessclub have always been in the playoffs ever since. And then, Chess winning those 2 titles has put them in that elevated status in Europe, whereas Stacked always just got on the cusp of getting into the playoffs. Heading into Season 9, I remember the preseason talk show, and a lot of people were saying, name your top 3 teams to win this season, and Stacked was one of the favourites because they had this, this planned really, really strong roster. So, there was promise, but then they got relegated. So they've come back with this new energized roster, some new players, a lot of people who've not played in the top tier, but we've got some familiar names like Beep, like Susie and Heartsfarts, and Billy, you were talking about the need for rivalry. We actually will have a fist fight heading into the first map.
The first map being Lakeside. I don't think that's correct. I think they should be playing Gullywash first, shouldn't they? Oh well. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. Well, we'll watch this fist fight if it ever happens. generally these things seem to take a very, very long time. I think it Beep is going to be the heavy. Beep has a track record of winning heavy fistfights.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Breakfast Junior in a fistfight, didn't he?
He beat the Breakfast Junior, the greatest heavy of all time.
Yeah, do you want to know a funny story about heavy fistfight?
Why would I not?
Because we were going into season 9, my team, Strong Opinions. We were going into the Prem playoffs, the pre-season ones, and we needed to do a fist fight for some reason to decide. I can't remember what it was. Who picked first maps or something like that? And you were like, "Yeah, Emilio, you do it. You know, you're our heavy. You're good." He's like, "Yeah, okay." So we went into this game, TC Express, and Emilio went for his fist fight. Won the first round, and I think it was Spyro on the other team said, "Oh, best out of 3." And Emilio was like, "Oh, okay then," and then lost the next 2. And we never let him forget that. You know, just you win the 1 round, you don't go for best of 3. That's
I was going to say you decide the rules beforehand. You don't say best of 3 after you've lost, and more importantly, you don't say best of 3 after you've won one. That's Emilio's problem. He's too nice a guy. That's not my experience with Emilio at all. But then again, I would have also said that Emilio isn't known for his particularly for his DM. He's a big brain gamer. That's what makes Emilio good.
Oh, he does. He's but we'll move on from talking about Emilio. We do actually have Pineapple Wolf, who is the team's sniper, against Bacon, who is actually the team's heavy. So we got a Poco Fists versus regular fists here, and the first punch does go to Bacon. He ends with another right hook. He hits him with a second. Bacon is yet untouched. Pineapple Wolf is in the corner here. He's worried. He's going to take one more hit, and Bacon absolutely dominating that. And I'm not sure what that decides. Bulow. I mean,
well, I think isn't it some people prefer playing a certain side because of the way for soldier jumps, because most soldiers can only jump from like right-handed rocket jumps.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why. Also, do you call them Poco Fists? It's a Poco Fist, like Apocalypse.
That's hate speech. Pretty sure it's a Poco Fists.
Poco Fist? No, it's not Pokemon, man.
Because he's poking them.
I look up to you as an educated man. You're going Poco Fist. No, this is the Spaniard in you, isn't it? Si, senor, Poco. Aye.
All right, Bulow. All right.
Bulow,
Bulow, yeah. Anyway, so we are going to see Chess on the red, and I was going to say Beep in the blue, but it's stacked. It's stacked. You just associate Beep with stacked. Like
Beep. Stacked is an extension of Beep.
He's just evolved over time to become one. So we're going to go over the roster, actually, of Chess, seeing as they are all here. And it is a little bit different from their first game. We have seen some changes. We'll go over those in a second. So on Scout is Funds from the newly dead Bureau. He's come in and he's replaced, I believe, Samsky on main. On Soldier is Onkaya. He is their main. He didn't play the first game as Jackie Legs was available and Onkaya couldn't play. On Pyro, we will have Sinrise. Demo is going to be Fungi. Now, from what I understand, Fungi isn't main. He's only playing in this game because they need a demo man for this game. So Fungi is going to play demo. A little bit of a rivalry as he was actually back up on Stacked before this match. And in the last few days, Fungi's actually changed allegiances and jumped over to Chess to play in this game. On Heavy is Bacon. On Engineer will be Cherry Rendezvous. On Medic is Fragmented. Sniper is going to be Tracker. Now, Tracker replacing Flo. Flo apparently losing his motivation to play, something like that. And Tracker has come in. Tracker, a player who was on backup on Premtech and has played for many, many teams in the past in the highest echelons, including Stacked. And on Spy is going to be Kazoo. We can go over the Stacked roster later as we are starting in the game. Onto the first mid-fight of this first map, and Fungi is very, very fast. Very fast. It's like 5 seconds faster than Fear. He takes a very, very fat sticky and it's just backed off, and they're not taking ground, but Pineapple Wolf winning at that first sniper battle, taking down Tracker, which is going to give them the advantage, and Chess kind of hesitant to walk across the point here, Bulow.
Yeah, I mean, they're very far back. They were waiting for Onkaya to go in there, I think, and Onkaya put a lot of damage in on the medic, and so Beep has moved right back now. And this looks like it's going to be a relatively clean fight. Apart from the fact actually that Stacked have complete domination over this pool room, and the wee mini sentry in the most obnoxious spot on the entire map, that is pretty much impossible to kill by anything but a sniper.
Okay, we'll talk about with the admins, ban mini sentries on that specific spot.
Here, I remember season 5, we lost to
you lost to that mini sentry.
The kill switch. We lost to It's Mint spamming that sentry over and over again. Literally 12 minutes in a row. So annoying.
Amazing. Pineapple Wolf is down. He did get dead by Tracker, and we are seeing an exchange. It is the crits coming out of Stacked, and they use it early, but they don't get very many kills. Oh no, actually they do get 3 kills. And the Uber coming out from Chess, they are losing players all over the place. Bacon is so far forward, simply needs to focus him down. Heavy is going to get gunned down. Chickabow, the engineer, does a nice little 180 there, just to flick onto the Heavy and taking down 2 players left alive for Chess. One of them is Cherry, and one of them is Tracker, who does get that headshot onto Pineapple Wolf, getting back into the game here. But MS running that Ambassador, getting some nice headshots, taking down Tracker, so no sniper for Chess for the time being. And the fact that Fragmented died there means that Beep does have that over advantage, and he is running that crit streak. So, you know, they're deciding to hold this pool room and just kind of just balls deep DM it, I guess, Bulow, just running the crits and just try and win the fights.
I imagine that Chessclub hadn't realised that Stacked were running crits, because it seemed to take them completely off guard, and Fragmented popped. Not because he himself was in any real danger, but I think he popped because he heard that the crits was going in. But he was in a really poor position, and then after that he was gunned down really easily. I was actually quite surprised how much how long Bacon managed to stay alive in that. But yeah, I think we missed the crits there, did we? Or at least I did.
Yeah, the crits did come out, and it got a players. Some key plays, you know, they took down the Scout and the Demo, and Chess got a lot of cap time, but they lost a lot of players for it. Beep does go down there to Kazul earlier on, but instead Pineapple Wolf replies with a headshot onto Fragmented, and because they've just capped that point, you know, for those of you who don't know, on King of the Hill, if you control the point, then you have longer spawns than your enemy, which means Beep's uber advantage is going to be even bigger. And if he's going to be still running that crits, he's changed onto the medigun now, Bulow. So now they're changing strats. They do have a huge uber advantage, and Pineapple Wolf is actually doing pretty well on a 3 kill streak right now. Chigabo, this American NG, I've been told, is actually just trying to get some cap time, and Stacked are looking pretty good. They're just walking over the points. CeeJaey just taking loads of the focus, does go down, but took down Bacon in his path. And Beep did die, so no heals for Stack for the time being, but they could finish off this cap as they do have a number advantage.
Yeah, I'm already seeing both spies are taking up very aggressive positions behind enemy lines here, and just using that height advantage to spam their ambassadors and turn the heads of heavies and things like that there. It's a very effective tactic on this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I suppose, it's about distractions, and when people talk about distractions, often they talk about a spy going in behind or a soldier jumping in or something like that. But you know, if you have a 450 HP heavy holding mouse 1 and walking towards you, it has to take your focus. But Stacks are just giving this up for free. I can't see what they're holding behind pool room, and they've just given up the cap for free. And Chess do have the lead in time. You know, they're only 115 to go, Stacked at 134, and Pineapple Wolf is down, gets headshot there by Tracker. On Kai, trying to do some sort of bomb to try and go in there, and gets taken down by Hearts. And Beep's still running the medigun, and Fragmented is also on medigun, but he does have his charge, 30% advantage, but Beep is quickly catching up. But this is something I see on this map a lot. You know, teams try to control this pool room, and it works out well for them because, you know, they can hold that area, but if they're not capping the point, then it's pretty much pointless, as the backstab from Kazul takes down Fear. So that's going to be no demo for this exchange, and that's probably going to give the advantage for Chess as they try to defend this point. Bacon is not being watched. He's in another. Oh, but the crits from the from the engineer running the Frontier Justice does get some damage down onto Bacon, and this Uber exchange is going very, very strongly for Chess. Sinros is just going to walk forward and trying to get as much damage as he can, trying to chase down these frags. Chess don't have the spawn advantage at the moment, so they are going to slowly lose this fight the longer it goes on. And Funky is the first that's one forward, Bulow, but I don't know, Chess deciding to just keep on fighting despite being at a disadvantage.
Well, it's reasonable because I have so much time left on the point. I think what happened there was Beep and the whole of Stack were holding behind pool room because they knew Fragmented had his charge, and they were kind of being a bit passive there whilst they waited for Beep to get his own. And that's not really good best practice, but they compounded it then, because then when Beep and his combo moved around to start attacking across the point, they lost their down man straight away to Kazul, and then it was just basically a single heavy Uber, and it didn't really achieve all that much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, your heavy can't chase. CeeJaey does take a lot of the heals on this team, and he is getting a couple of frags here. But, you know, there you go, Chess just recapping the point, only needing to recap because of the overtime. And they do take this first round. but maybe closer than people imagined. 58 seconds left for Stacked. They did have a good start to the game and just didn't follow it through. We can quickly go over the roster now for Stacked. On Scout is Tex, this new Czech Republic Scout. Hearts is on Soldier. Simple 6, Russian Pyro, new to the Pro League division, is playing on that slot. Fear is on Demo, who takes an early stick again from Fungi in this mid-fight. CeeJaey on Heavy. Chicobo is this American engineer people are talking about. Beep is playing Medic, is third class of this of Premiership after Engineer and Pyro, and MS is on Spy with Pineapple Wolf on Sniper. And once again, Stacked are getting the early frags. They are getting... They're getting the early frags, and they're also running quick fix, Bulow. What do you think about the quick fix, and do you think it's going to work out for Stacked in this exchange?
Quick fix is very good, and I know it's being slightly nerfed by things like not being able to cap on the point, but it's still very, very effective, especially in mid fights, because you're able to keep the pressure on because you've got the good heals. This is a tactic that has been favoured by Stacked for many a season, actually, on these Koth maps, running quick fix a lot.
Yeah, I remember Admirable running quick fix a lot on 5CP and King of Hill back when he played for Stacked, and I don't even remember running running Vaccinator at some point. But yeah, you see Stacked winning the fight, and then in kind of the latter stages losing too many players that they can't actually hold it. So in come Chess to recap this, Funky does go down to the headshot, and because of that gap, you're going to have an even longer respawn there. But it's really good push there by Stacked early on. They had that quick fix, they pushed over, and that distraction allowed MS to come in and get the backstab onto the medic. And in comes a couple of more frags, and Chess are just beating players here. Bacon is going to get caught in. I'm not sure if people are aware. Yeah, they do. Fear is going to get the stickies down on the floor to stop him from escaping. That is Heavy down, and once again, we're just kind of seeing teams losing too many players, but no! The quick fix comes out, Funky jumps in and gets 2 kills, takes on Simple 6 and Beep. So mid down for Stacks, and they are going to capture this point, but I think just like earlier, Bulow, they're going to not be able to hold on to it because they've just lost far too many players.
They've lost far too many players, and as you were talking about respawn advantage and respawn waves here, they capture the point when there are many players down. They just add 10 seconds to respawn timers of all the players who are still waiting in the queue, which gives a huge advantage for Chessclub to get right back on the point. And now because Chessclub have all their players alive, they're able to spread across this point, take their heals, and make it really, really difficult for Stack to get back on.
Yeah, you see the difference in, Chess have captured this point, and they've got their players in positions to try and hold this. Pineapple Wolf is on the balcony, trying to look to see if he can get a snipe. Tracker is holding on side at the point, getting a nice buff, and then he gets the headshot onto the enemy sniper, and that's just going to give his team a little bit more freedom about where they can hold. But Stacked, they have an Uber disadvantage, and the fact that Fragmented is still running that Uber charge means it's going to be a little bit harder for them to take it down. Beep is running the crit streak this time, and I don't know, it worked out early for them in the first round, but they just seem to be giving away a lot of free time here. No one's really making any big plays. And it seems very much that they just want to wait for their charge and then try and win the fight. And here they come lower now. The crits does come out, and Fragmented hasn't used yet. Beep does go down to Bacon, and yeah, they see Brewer's just going to clean up all of these Stacks players.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to add there. I mean, they were, as you say, waiting too long for their charge against an opposition who already had a charge. You really need to give yourself something to work with by either clearing out the pool room before you use your charge, or forcing the medic to either move back, put some damage, put some pressure on them to move out of the way off the high ground. But if you don't do these things, you just come in with a charge from the low ground, it's very easy for them just to pop their Uber in response to it and really make you suffer.
Yeah, we see a big bomb here, Beggar's Bazooka from Arts, and he's not actually going to get anything done with it. Chess were all too aware, and that's something you didn't see in the first map of the season. But Lakeside does lend itself to some decent Beggars bombs, so maybe Stacks are starting to think that's their way, because you just see, they've got 35 seconds left on the clock for Chess, and no one is no one's walking forward. They go Tracker's down. That should be the signal for his entire team to walk forward. They do have Uber, and it does get forced there by Hearts. It's a good play by him. Beep is only at 80-90%. He does have that medigun, and they can win this fight if they walk forward afterwards to clean up all of these players. They do get the Uber. Beep is running forward. Beep is so far forward, he's not got anyone for company. They're just waiting to clean up the players behind him. But MS with that ambi does take down MS. Great reflect kill by Simple 6 there. Oh, Beep is holding on to that Uber. Balls of steel coming out of the Irishman there to not use his Uber in the face of about 10 HP, and Kazor with the revolver. But Stacked do manage to recapture this point, and they're in a decent position now. They got Uber, they have some players up. but not enough players to really defend this, as Fungi's going to jump in. Is Beep going to force? He does actually use it in the end. They're going to have to clean these players on the point, but it's going to be difficult for them to hold this now, Bulow. I mean, they're just they're not getting their players up and into position quickly enough.
No, it's just a solo Uber on Beep goes down, a solo Uber on a heavy. But that was the difference there. Fungi jumped in the whole way across the point to try and make something happen on the medic, even though his team didn't have charge. And I think that's maybe Stack were lacked the stronghold. Needed like both Hearts to be jumping in and the Demo Man to be jumping in as well. I remember that Quintos used to be the master at this, jumping in with the stick with the caber whenever you were holding on this point, because there's only one place the medic's really going to be holding, which is in that corner. So yeah, you need to put far more pressure on the medic if they've got that tight lock on.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, and we haven't really seen that consistent pressure. And we see both soldiers die very, very early on in the mid fight. But the big pick there is Tracker headshotting Fierce. No Demo Man for Stacked, and the fact that they are running crits to the mid fight is going to play a big part with no Demo Man. So they're going to have to really amend what they were going to do. But it doesn't matter, because Beep gets taken down by Funds, getting in from behind and landing a couple of meat shots. Fragmented just still running that regular old Uber. Not changing his mind and not doing any different strats. It is definitely much Stacked who are trying to keep their enemies guessing on what they're going to do. Big bomb in from Hearts. Actually, no, Fear is going to jump in. I just saw someone flying through the air, and it was in fact both of them. So maybe they're listening to you, Bulow. Both Fear and Hearts jumping in at the same time, but they don't actually get anything done this time around.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness to Stack, they have been much more flexible. I mean, they've seemingly pushed Pool Room quite hard at the start. They just weren't really able to get much done there, because as you say, their down one went down and then Beat went down as well.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Chess have lost Fungi, and that, with no Demo Man, they should really be able to take control of more area. But then, just they're coming into this pool room against a soldier and a mini sentry and an NG. It's just not really working out for them. Onkai trying to get aggressive, but he does take that reflect. He's so weak, only 13 HP. Jumps in that pool to just keep himself alive, but eventually does go down. And Stack seem to be doing well in getting these picks. They just need to kind of win these fights afterwards. And the crits is used very, very early on. But once again, Chess already have their Uber ready. They just counter it. They're going to put most of it on Funds, just trying so he can chase. And yeah, Chess just collapse onto them and clean up the frags. And I really don't think crits is going to work if they're not getting the force early on. I mean, I don't know what you're seeing, but it just seems that they're hoping that they can get a drop on the medic at the moment.
Well, it was the very first crits that they used, the very first crits was quite effective. As I said, they caught Fragmented out of position. He was able to use his Uber, but after that, the Bacon and Fragmented were way too far forward. But since then, they haven't really done anything with these crits. I think it's because they're not putting enough pressure on the combo to either put them in a bad position or make them use their Uber early.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching Onkai there. He jumped in and got covered in Girardi. He was trying to shoot down, and it took so long for people to kill him that in the end, Kazul came in and got a couple of kills, including one on Beep. So, Stack's doing well there to walk across the point and take that space and get some cap time, but because they're not keeping an eye on the players who are obviously going to go suicide in to try and get those key picks, like the medic, they're losing their medic and then losing the team fight afterwards. And they've got 45 seconds left to try and get a cap in this game. Fragmented has 100% Uber, and Beep is still trying to catch up. So it's very much they need to make a play. They need to do something rather than just walking in and all dying, which they do again. And Onkaya this time is the one to get the frag onto Beep. And I don't want to call it too early, but I think this is going to be over.
Yeah, I think it's looking unlikely that Chess are going to throw away a 3-minute lead on this map. I think they're just Hearts went in and got the force there, I think, and that's but we've waited like 3 rounds for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you need more consistency with those plays. You like you said, you need to send in your hearts. Send in your hearts and your fear. No, send in your demo and your soldier. Try and get that force. Have your players do something during that downtime while you're building your Uber, so you can get that force and then work off of the advantage. But I've not seen Stacked have an advantage so far. They've had an advantage every mid-fight because they've been running crits or quick fix. But during actual gameplay, during the fights, they've not had an advantage. Simply because they've just tried to go in and win a team fight on equal Ubers, and during those times when they're running crits, it's just not going to work unless you have that surprise factor, or you get lucky, or the medic in the other team is just not paying attention. Then you're not going to drop the medic with your crits. It's not going to work, especially with a pyro in the game. He's going to deny a lot of it, and that's all Chess did. They waited for the crits to come in, they used their Uber, sent all of their players forward, flashed them all to keep them alive, and just collapsed onto Stack, and it worked really well for them. So, while it started looking like Stacked were going to really challenge on that map, in the end, it's been really, really comfortable for Chess. I mean, I don't know what you saw from all of that, but it looked very one-sided towards the end.
No, absolutely. I think Tracker had a very good game. I think you'll see that from the logs. And Cherry Rendezvous was very, very disciplined in holding down that pool room whenever his team did have the point. He always just sat in the same corner, kept his dispenser up, things like that. There, it just gives you more of a solid platform around which to work. And I was a little surprised because people like Hearts are very dynamic players. Like they're obviously. He's very good at using the rockets to jump around the base and stuff like that there. But there just didn't seem to be quite as much of that going in behind. And you mentioned Onkaya there, just towards the end of that last round, jumping in, basically just making a nuisance of himself to the point where Kazul was then able to clean up a whole lot of things. And I don't really think we saw that enough from Stacked, the coordination between more of the dynamic classes, between like Hearts going in or the demo, or the spy coordinating with that and picking people off. I think the most successful teams always have that your flank classes are able to play off of each other, and there wasn't really enough of that synergy for Stacked, I feel.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at Tracker, it's his first game since last season when he was playing for High Panda. He did top frag, 25 kills, only 9 deaths. But more surprisingly for me is Kazul. He also got 25 frags and only 11 deaths. So he, a spy like Kazul, who, I don't know, not really associating him with that kind of style and getting a big KAD, 2.4 is very respectable, and he did a lot of work. I did see him going in behind, and he just had he has that good timing. It's something I've known from him for the past few seasons. When something else is going on, an Uber comes in or a soldier's going to bomb, you just know Kazul is going to be behind you. He's either going to go for someone or he's just going to harass you and put that damage out using the revolver. So he did a lot of work on this game. Pineapple Wolf also doing pretty well himself. 19 frags on the enemy team was the most for Stacked. And actually, when you look at the damage, both demo men not actually getting that much, both in the 300 marks, whereas you got Tracker on 494 and Pineapple Wolf on 490, so both snipers doing pretty well on this map. But in the end, I don't think it was very much down to individuals. I just think it was the coordination, the team play from Chess, and Stacks maybe not making the right decisions. But Gullywash is a different beast, and do you think Stacks?
I just want to pick up on one thing you said there, CeeJaey. You said about Kazul always having good timing. No, I don't know about that. I think he just knows how to use a particular unlock for the spy class that makes it very difficult to kill him. He knows where the ammo packs are, but we'll leave it at that.
For other spies, I'd say yeah, but for Kazul, I don't think that's his deal. I think it's very much, he does stay alive, sure, but he has the timing to come in at the right time. During those Uber exchanges, what did you see going on behind Stacked? They were running away from the Uber, and behind them is Kazul, and he has that revolver aim, and is able to put out an extra bit of damage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is very good. I think what I'm more alluding to is the fact that it does enable a certain playstyle for somebody who does have that good timing. And if there's one thing Kazul does have, is certainly game sense, in that he knows how to play like that, and he is very good at doing it. He's somebody who doesn't necessarily always get the respect, I think, that a double Prem champion should get, because maybe he isn't quite as flashy as other players. But you can't really argue with his record. He's been there since the start. He's the sole surviving member of Chessclub. He's won far more than I have. Can't fault the guy.
No, not at all. I just wonder whether it's going to be as effective on this map. Gully is, traditionally a more difficult map for spy, because you do have these choke areas. It's, very much, if we get into a stalemate, the pressure is on the spy and the sniper to get a pick, to kind of open those doors for your team to come in. And because of that, teams are very much buffing their snipers and watching their backs, because during that downtime you're less susceptible to be surprised in any sort of chaos. So it will be interesting to see whether any dynamic changes on this map. But the thing I'm more interested in is if Stacked are going to continue running things like quick fix and crits on this map. I mean, it's a different game mode. It's 5 CP instead of King of the Hill, but do you think that's their best chance if they run something different to try and catch chess off guard here?
I don't think you should be thinking about the guns to try and trick people or catch them off guard like you would maybe in King of the Hill. But I think any of the guns are actually really, really good on this map. On like last point, if you have crits on last point attacking, you're in a very, very good position because it's a very tight map and there's only that people are going to be holding. I'm a really big fan of the quick fix on this map. I think it's one of the best miniguns for 5 CP, especially if both teams are in a closely matched. I think it's very, very effective for defending on this map. But we'll see. I can imagine it seems like everybody wants to play on red. I don't know why that is. Lucky red.
I don't know. I hear all sorts of arguments like, "Oh, it's more difficult to see you when you're a certain color on certain map." And on red team, this wall is 1 millimeter to the left, so that extra pixel means that your rocket jump will accelerate. It's just the same. I just think I think it's just more mind games than anything else. They're just trying to.
To be fair, I would always indulge in that whenever I was playing. I'd be like, "Yeah, we're gonna fight for everything." Why? Just because you can. You wanna annoy people. It's game.
Yeah, well, you've won the first map 3-0. They're just trying to, probably just trying to wind up the enemy team and just, give them every sort of advantage.
Look at Funz here. Funz has almost 20 points in pre-game and nobody else has more than 7. He is try-harding to the max right now. This is what got him into Prem. Pre-game.
Yeah, you never stop practicing. Every moment you get, every bit of downtime, that's a chance to practice your DM.
It looks like everybody's on the correct team now, so hopefully we'll start to see some action. I'm going to make a change for once here, CeeJaey. I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh.
CeeJaey, do you think this game will last the full 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think the first round is going to last, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. And then I think Chess are going to win the first round. I think, Stacked are going to try to hold on. I think the first couple of rounds might take, 10, 12 minutes, something like that. And then the rest of them are going to come pretty fast. I think, the way it's going at the moment, I can see this being, a 4 something, maybe a 5-0. I'm not sure if I want to go for 5-0. I think Stacked have got a round in them, but I'm not sure whether the players are going to have that motivation after that first map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not necessarily a case of one team is so much better than the other, but once, if Chessclub win the first round and maybe win the next mid-fight, then your heads do drop. Kind of know, well, we're probably only going to get at best 1 point out of this map. Is there any point in playing blah blah blah? I mean, it's not the right attitude, but it's hard to always remain positive. It's
demoralizing to lose 3-0 on a King of the Hill map. It's even more so when the last round you don't even cap the point. But we are seeing some shenanigans straight away from Stacked as they are running the quick fix. Sophia is very, very fast to the midpoint, as is Beep. And a big jump in from Monkai. He's already behind Beep. He lands 1 rocket, lands the second rocket. Med Danny also takes down the Pyro for good measure. So that is the first very, very lethal blow. 2 stacked already, and the rest of their players are just so weak. They're getting taken off one by one. Hearts is going to jump in here. First rockets gets deflected, and Sinrise does a good job in just stopping anything from happening there. Kazul running the Ambassador does take down Susie. MS with the solitary response, taking down Tracker. But fragmented already at 80% on his Uber. That's going to have a huge advantage pushing into last. And maybe my prediction isn't going to be right, Bulow.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you, CeeJaey. I'll try and hide my glee when this is over outside 90 seconds.
Well, hey, Beep is running. There you go. Pineapple Wolf, the headshot onto Bacon. It's going to slow the push down a little bit on Kai down as well. The Uber comes in. Beep is running that quick fix, so the longer this fight goes on, the heals are going to be in his advantage. And Stack are actually picking up Franch. They've picked up 4 so far. Sinrise is very weak on the point. He gets cleaned up. Kazul and Funz are just trying to get so much cap time, but they get destroyed there by a combination of Hearts and Fear. 2 players left alive below, and Stacked have held on to that point, and they're just kind of grinding out the time a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, I mean, I always focus on medics. I know this is maybe a flaw of mine, but the issue there was Fragmented. Like he left before the end of that Uber, whilst the rest of his team was still in, and you're on the last point. You're a minute into the game. You can't lose the game by going all in at that point. Like stay in. At worst, you're going to be defending your second point. I think that was maybe too conservative.
Almost half-assing it, yeah, but MS there with the backstab does take down Fragmented, so medic down, but it doesn't matter because Funds just walks forward and lands a couple of shots. He's getting another kill there onto Pineapple Wolf. So medic down for Stacked, and they've bled 7 players out of that exchange. So Chess just doing the thing, we've lost our medic, okay, let's send our players forward and try to take down yours, and they've done it to great success. Simple 6 running the flare gun, not a popular choice anymore, but takes down Funds with it. So Stacked find themselves on the last point once again. Beep switched off to the medigun though. So maybe thinking, okay, both meds died at the same time. I will run medigun and try to just build up a decent Uber for last, which is probably a wise decision, as Fragmented hasn't changed from Uber so far in this entire tie. And now Chess have to play it a little bit more slow, I think, and just try to work their way through a pick, as Chickabow has got a level 2 watching the point.
Yeah, this is where Gullywash gets a bad reputation for being a boring map, I think. But
Medic down again. Fragmented just got backstabbed again by MS, and Chess have lost 4 players. So could be an opportunity for them to push out here. I don't know if Stacked are going to be feeling that ballsy. Funds is in water though.
In water, but there's that level 3 sentry now, so it's going to be pretty much impossible now that Kazul's gone down and there's no the Funds goes down to the level 3 sentry. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but Stacked have just kind of they lost a few players there and they've changed their mind. They don't want to push out anymore.
Well, again, I talk about this every time I cast this map. This is the hardest last point to push out of because of the respawns coming through Big Door. It's just so easy for them for the attacking team to get reinforcements in to stop you from capping second, and then you get caught and you have to go back basically. So it's very, very tricky.
Did Chickabow just die to his own sentry? His sentry killed him. He's respawned now, and it's irrelevant as Cherry does have a sentry up, and he just wrangles down Susie there. And Beep has used his Uber trying to get something done here, but there's not very many frags coming in the favour of Stacked. They're just spreading out now. Alkaya does go down, both soldiers down, and they have recaptured this point below, so maybe something for them to work on and just kind of hold a little bit. Fragmented does have his Uber, but Stacked do have their Pyro up in the choke, and as we know, Pyro's gonna...
I think you'll find watching them capture that second point does kind of fill me with worry there, because you saw that a lot of the players moved off the point before it had even finished capping. So maybe the communication on Stacked isn't quite as slick as you would hope, because Beep was the one who went back to finish the cap, while in the face of the Chessclub players standing in Big Door. It's very strange.
Some good frags coming in here though, but it's just Uber comes in through the choke. Lots of plays flashed and lots of frags coming in for Chess, including Beep, who's gone down. 14-second respawn for him and many of his teammates. Actually, there's only 2 players left alive. Make that 1. It's only Tex, and he's running out in lobby. It's not going to be quite a wipe, although Kazul's trying to make it a wipe. But I was going to say there were some decent frags that came in from Stacks there. Pineapple Wolf got a headshot onto Tracker, and then Funds went down, so there was no scout in that Chess Uber. But the rest of the Chess players just all came in through the choke, shared that Uber, and just cleaned up on the frags, just like we saw on Lakeside, just moving together. And there was just not denial there from Stack. They really needed, a sticky trap or, a pyro to just buy them time to get out, or hold on top. Hold on top and hold a little bit more passively. But once again, we're seeing Stacked getting some frags on the defense. They've taken down Fungi, Sinrise, and Onkaya. So, 3 down for Chess, and Stacked starting to move out here.
Yeah, I think this is maybe again the wrong play from Stacked about being aggressive. Look, they've dropped their heavy. The Uber's going to come in, and they could maybe take this a bit more slowly coming out, because you can't lose the game at the start. Here they've actually got a very decent exchange out of that somehow, and they could maybe think about pushing out. But you can afford. You've got like 25 minutes to get around here. You don't have to play too risky right at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they've got Uber advantage. There's only 3 players left alive for Chess. So if they just Tex has done a good job there. He's got his frag. He's on a 7 kill streak, and Cherry actually has a teleporter up behind Rock on second. Fia spotted it though, so that Wrangle Mini isn't going to do too much work. as MS is going to use that ambassador and gets a nice headshot onto the engineer. So Stack doing pretty well in here. They're in the ascendancy. Those spawns from Chess aren't going to be forward spawns. Beep still has 100% on his Uber, on his Medigun. So Stack should be able to get this, or at least get some frags, but no, Fierce drop down onto the floor, but they are getting the frags, and in comes the headshot from Pineapple Wolf. That's another frag for him. Texas on a 9 kill streak on Scout. And,
did you see Beep's balls? Oh well, no. Beep's balls of steel went down to 29 HP in front of the Prem Scout. He didn't pop. That's some balls of steel, and then he got headshotted and died anyway. So
it doesn't matter too much though. I mean, Chess are going to get 8 respawns. 8 respawns? Respawns, Weatherspoons. I'm got a drink on the mind, man. But respawns, but it's going to be on last. And Stacked have got this this second point. So as long as they don't do anything stupid and all die in lobby on Kaya, then it's going to be okay for them. Which on Kaya gets 2 frags in lobby. Fragmented has his Uber. Building on last. He's just running the regular thing. He's at 45. Beep's only 10% behind. He's on Crit Creek though, so it's going to be close.
Crit Creek play, perhaps.
Sneaky.
They've got the level 3 sentry holding in lobby, so they've got a very strong position.
Yeah. I'm just wondering whether they're going to get it before. They've just gone ahead, but they need to dot push this if they want to get a frag onto Fragmented before he gets his Uber ready.
And it'll be very difficult because the kind of place you want to take the Crits Creek from is either from River, which it looks like they're going for, or this top area. But Bacon's covering the top area, and Donkai is on the jumping in.
Oh no! First one gets reflected by Sinrise, and it's enough time for Fragmented to get his Uber, and he's just going to put it all onto Fungi. He's going to try and chase down those frags. Great play there though by Simple6, just keeps him in the corner, and Fungi's not able to do anything. Finally does take down the Pyro, and Beep goes down very late on. Fear's going to get the bottle kill onto Fungi and run away with 29 HP. Might be caught out here by Funds, who's on the chase, but like I said, they needed to dot push that. They didn't quite push it fast enough. They needed to kind of go through that river just at 100%. But I think Chess knew that they were running crits. They were ready to deflect it, and Chess are able to push out here and recapture their second point, and they're going to have an advantage at 50%. And Beep's not even healing just yet.
No, I mean it was a very good defensive hold. I feel from Chessclub. They had players covering all the entrances. They knew when they were coming in. They say Onkaya jumped river trying to stop the crits coming in whenever he was there, but that's the kind of forward information you need whenever you know you're going to be facing an incoming crit, so you know you're ready to pop.
Absolutely, and on the back of that, they've managed to capture the midpoint as well. It's cost them 3 players though, so Stacked doing much better now. They're taking the wise decision. Hearts there just hiding on top, trying to get some sort of force, but it doesn't work. But Stacked, taking the more passive position and just holding behind, on top. Probably going to have to give this up for free as well. I mean, Pineapple Wolf did get the frag onto Sinrise. No Pyro. Chess aren't going to be stopped by capping this point right now. And essentially, Stacked have been pushed from, pushing their enemies last all the way back to their own last. Just because that failed crits. But it doesn't really matter. Beep is going to get Uber in time to hold last. So it is an Uber versus Uber situation. I just disappointed that we didn't see a force coming out of Chess. But Beep is holding onto that Uber. He is milking it. Finally uses it onto Susie. But it doesn't matter because Funds on the flank is getting a couple of frags. He does get cleaned up. Sorry, the rest of the players on the point do get cleaned up. Funds is on a 5 kill streak right now. And Chess are losing players. Again, they're 4 players up. Funds is trying to get aggressive. He's trying to chase Beep. He is on Beep. One more shot will take him down. Beep lands an arrow. Funds is so weak. It doesn't matter because Cherry charges in through main with his shotgun and probably does about 5 damage, Bulow, but does get the med frag out of it. So Chess, only 4 players left. But
well, that was especially important because MS had taken down Fragmented just as that Uber, as Fragmented backed out following that Uber. It was a very strange decision to take the soldier in through the top shutter door. That's not something you would really see.
It just got denied by the Pyro, and it allowed Beep to milk his Uber, and they did get a better exchange out of it. But they just tried to push out maybe a little bit too quickly. But here, Chess kind of still in control, holding their enemy second point. They're holding outside on big door, just I suppose building their Uber. Beep is slightly behind only at 30%. I'm not sure if they're aware of how big their Uber advantage is. They don't really have eyes anywhere. Kazul isn't in on last, keeping an eye on Beep or anything like that. But we'll have a look. Fragmented, still running that Uber charge, not changing his mind and doing anything else. And Fun's dying there. It's going to give him a 20-second respawn, and you really, really want your scout in these Uber pushes. So, you know, no scout for them is probably going to allow Beep to get his Uber in time, I think.
Yeah, we are in classic 9v9 Uber v Uber situation here. One team has the level 3. Something needs to happen to make this not be terribly, terribly boring for the next like 20 minutes. Tracker getting a shot on the sniper. That's a start, but now his team needs to help him by taking this lobby area to actually give him a chance to get an angle on something.
Yeah, look at Fungi. He's really, really far forward. Onkaya's in River. He's going to go for a jump in now. He lands one rocket, but then gets blasted out by that sentry. That level 3 is in a really good position just to deny jumpers. And yeah, those suicides don't actually achieve anything. They don't get the force or get any major frags. So it's going to be 10-second respawns for them. I don't think Stack's going to be able to push out on that. But they're able to just kind of, play things slowly and just week off the time. It's 17 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, I think the issue there was Fungi was on his own in River, which meant that Demo isn't the best 1v1 class in the game. He really needed somebody to be supporting him to watch his back for when, so for example, a soldier comes in and tries to deny him, which is exactly what happened. I think he was trying to take down the gun with a coordination with Kazul, but he went down just before Kazul was able to get the sap on the gun.
Yeah, it seems like Chess are just playing this slow now. They realise they're in control and they're just going to wait for the pick. They don't need to really rush this. Stacks can't really push out unless they give away too many frags, and their Uber exchanges haven't been really working out for them so far. We're still 0-0, but they do get 2 frags on the flank. Hearts and Tech are down, so maybe they're taking lobby now, and they're going to get Tracker a little bit of space. He's on the balcony. Can he get a shot? No, he gets gunned down there by Susie. If he'd landed that shot, I'm sure Beep would have been absolutely furious with his team. And Susie's going to take a position on that balcony now, just to deny any space being given away. But yeah, I mean, even when they had Uber advantages, Chess haven't been able to push into last very effectively. So maybe they're just thinking the slow option is the better one. But they get so much time on the point. Kazul's on the point. He's brought those players down onto the point to try and block it. Hearts is down there in water now, but loads of frags elsewhere have come in. And Chess are 4 players down right now. Uber is finally used by Beep. He's got a better Uber than his enemy medic. Stacked are going to try and shake out people here, but no. Bacon's on the repush. And Bacon takes down 3 players, including Beep and Susie, and that's probably going to allow Chess to just repush this. There is no level 2 sentry. Hearts is the only player on the point. Gets a nice arrow onto Funds just to keep him alive. Pineapple Wolf is there now, and Funds is just going to fight on the point and get the cap. And finally, after 15 minutes, the first round goes to Chess.
So, just as you predicted, but also that was really, really good play from Funds there. He came in, he just did so much damage on the point, and he kept himself alive, in the face of a little bit of spam there and the mini sentry. So it was really good positioning just to get himself across the point and then, capture it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Beep is still running that fix to these mid-fights. Obviously wants to get the heals out very quickly. And there we go. Funds dies early on in that mid-fight. And so does Ankaya. And so does Tracker. Gets backstabbed there by MS. So a few frags down now in the favour of Stacks. They can start walking across the point and getting some stuff done. Kazul running the Ambassador gets a headshot onto Pineapple Wolf. So no sniper for either teams. Cherry is underneath the point. Cherry's got a mini sentry underneath the point. No, he gets spotted. They're coming in behind Beep now. And then they get destroyed there by Hearts. And Susie, so that didn't quite work out, that delayed flank, but Fragmented has survived, and oh, here comes MS! Oh no! He's I'm not sure if he's not aware what's going on. He almost gets the drop stab onto Fragmented. The quick fix comes out. Fungi gets dropped from that, as does Bacon. And the Uber is going to be flashed onto Funds. He's going to try and get some frags, but there's only 4 players left alive for Chess. And then Sinrise gets taken down there by the body shot. And Stacked are just winning this DM battle despite running quick fix against Uber. Fear jumps in and pipes Fragmented. Big bombing from Onkai does take down Beep using the rocket launcher. But the rest of the players for Chess are just bleeding out. And it looks like Stacked are going to be able to capture this second point.
Well, I mean, MS did an awful lot of work there putting the pressure on the medic, but I have no idea what Sinrise or Bacon were doing, because they both kind of ignored the spy who was trying to gun down their medic right behind them. It was crazy.
Once again, we see Fungi and Bacon go down as well, which it's not good if they want to. Oh no, never mind.
That was a great headshot. That was incredible.
That's Tracker. getting a headshot to Beep and just kind of stunting that. Fragmented also went down there, so both medics down. Stacked, probably going to be able to hold onto this point as soon as they don't let too many players die. But I was going to say, Chess have to be careful. They're bleeding players when they're trying to back out, and if Stack decide to take that space given to them, no heavy and no demo, they could just do a dry push that and get the medic. And if Beep had survived there and they got fragmented, it would have given them an advantage. But we're seeing a similar situation to what we saw before, where Stack are just holding outside on big door, moving into lobby, trying to take some space, and I suppose they're just going to wait for a pick, Bulow, and try to do what Chess did to them about 2-3 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, they've still got time on their side to do this, and it does seem like the sensible way of playing the map, rather than trying to go all in at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just, take your time. There still is no rush. You've got 12 minutes to go. There's no kind of pressure on them to do anything. It's only one round down. Fragmented still running that Uber charge, and Beep has switched off to Uber charge as well, so we're not going to see... Oh, no, backstab comes in from Gazul. Decides to just go for Susie. CeeJaey's getting aggressive, and wow, Pineapple Wolf gets air blasted in the air while on fire, and just puts himself out mid-air with the Durati on the wall. So that's a pretty decent move there. I like that. But some cap time on the point. Really good baiting there from MS. And Tex is hiding. Nobody's on the point, Bulow.
Tex goes
if Tex
right
does it now, what are you waiting for? Oh no! If he had only done that 5 seconds ago, he would have won that easily. So much cap time on the point. ×2 scout would have actually done it. And Stacked have lost players all over the place. Somebody is actually capping. It's Kazul on top of the point. Takes an arrow from Beep, but only triggers the dead ringer. Onkaya jumps in and gets the drop onto Beep. And Stacked just falling apart here, Bulow. It's heartbreaking to watch.
I wouldn't say falling apart. I mean, it was poor. There's been some discoordination in there, but I think they can come back from this if they believe.
If they believe, it's all about the belief. But Fragmented does have 100% Uber now. He has to move forward with his team. Stack still a few players down, and there's a while on those respawns, so Chess most likely going to be able to push in here and take this midpoint for free. But Stacked are trying to defend it as best they can. They have a Wrangled Mini on the point, just laying down some damage onto that choke. Does get taken down eventually by Fungi, but Beep and his team backed out there. He's keeping the heals. Oh, Kazul comes in from behind and gets the backstab. I was going to say they've positioned themselves well, but if you've got no heals, it doesn't matter, as they've lost their medic, and they do get some good frags. They've taken down Fungi, which would have stunted any sort of push coming in from Chess, but they've got no demo themselves, no heals, and I don't know, it just seems Chess are just going to be able to W into them here and probably win this point.
Yeah, I mean, Stacked have done the right thing there. They were making Chess work for the third point, for the midpoint, and then it looked like they're being preparing to make them work again for the second point. Whilst Beep was able to get his Uber up, but then that frag from Kazul pretty much puts them right on the back foot now. Yeah,
and there's no NG. Chikobo is dead at the moment, so he's just respawning now. It'd be interesting to see what he decides to build. He's gone for the mini sentries. That level 2, level 3 sentry on the stairs is the thing that has been, I don't know, keeping them in a lot of fights. He's getting a lot of damage, a lot of denial on the aerial jumpers coming in. And with just the mini sentry watching that point, I'm not sure if it's going to have just as much effect. But Fragmented there, he's not got his Uber anymore, so I must have missed an Uber pop or something like that.
Well, they charged through the choke and didn't really for no real reason there, or maybe somebody attacked him behind. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I have no idea. But it is equal Ubers, and I don't know. Chess playing so far out. Look at MS on there. MS they hit the spy and he gets taken down. Both spies dying just because they're going in for these plays, and they're not getting anything done. But yeah, I mean, Chess have no urgency. They are walking in through river now. A lot of them covered in P. So that Durati came in from Pineapple Wolf. And it does actually cost CeeJaey his life, and the Uber does get forced by Fragmented. He's only at 68p. The counter comes in by Beep. It's not so it's being used on Fear, but he's not actually doing anything. Kazul is there, and Beep is just being body blocked by Kazul, and just gets baited by his team as Funz walks in and gets a frag. Gets taken out by Tex in the end, but Beep going down there means no heals for Stacked for the time being. Chess is probably going to be able to try walk in here, but they are getting frags here, Stacked. They're getting a couple of people. They're getting time on the point though, and once again it's Bacon on this top right, trying to just gun people down as they come out of that spawn, but Beep is back up. He's got his respawn. CeeJaey is on the point. Pyro on the point is going to be very difficult to get off. and he's probably just going to, air blast people off the point, Bulow, and make it 2-0. It just seems like it's errors from Stacked at the moment that's costing them the rounds, and what looked really promising for them at the start is now looking very, very favourable in Chess's side of the game.
What was the typical trying to push out of last on Gullywash when you don't have a massive advantage? Beep and CeeJaey pushed out underneath. The combo from Chessclub were above them. That then forced Beep to move backwards, and then after that you kind of had that disaster. And yes, something just happened there. Onkaya went in on Beep.
Huge bomb in from Onkaya, just lands on Beep's head. 2 rockets, takes him down. And Chess here just need to play the heals, and they're going to win this mid-fight. CeeJaey doing the best he can with a wrangled mini, just trying to shoot people off the point. And they're not doing too badly as Fragment goes down there to Tex. And Chess are going to capture this midpoint just because of the fact they've got more players on the actual point itself. Pineapple Wolf dying very late in that mid-fight. But, Beep respawning now. Fragmented still 5 seconds away. Stack could probably re-push this if they got their spawns together and just walked forward. But not leave their medic on the point. Getting shot by a spy. Kazul does go down in the end. But it was a little bit of a hairy situation there for the second.
Yeah, but it seems to have fallen apart a little bit for Stack right now. I think they just need to keep their cool. There is time to still get back to this game. Obviously, it's forever ebbing away, but they can still at least make a game of it.
Oh yeah, I mean there's 7 minutes to go. There's still plenty of time for them to get back into this, and Beep is on the crit streak. He's at 70%, so he's got an advantage over Fragmented. Fragmented is still just running Ubercharge, hasn't changed his minigun so far in this tie, and there they go. They're going towards Big Door. They need to use this on the dot. They need to land that hero sticky. In comes Sphere, throws in 1 sticky, takes down Kazul. That is not the frag that he would have wanted. The laser beams come out and get a couple of level 4 frags. Hearts jumps in, gets a nice rocket onto Sinrise. He's not able to reflect that. Does take him down actually. And the Uber comes in from Stacked, and from Chess. If Stacked kite this, oh no, MS gets a flash of the Uber, and then he's oh my word, MS gets flashed by Fragmented. So MS is able to backstab Bacon. He can't kill him, and then Tex just walks in and kills Fragmented. So a comedy of errors here. Chelsea's trying to block this midpoint, which they are actually doing with Onkaya and Cherry just jumping in onto that point there. A back cap was going on, but that ends up stopping. But Stacked may be able to just try and push this forward with the spawns that they've got. As there's some chess players. I mean, I don't know what you're seeing here, Bulow, but it just seems to be chaos.
This is what happens when a game on Gullywash breaks down, when either team is able to impose themselves on an individual point. You just have stupid stuff going on all over the place, and flanking flanks, and on different points, like you saw there, both mid and second were being contested. It's just a bit messy right now, but Chess are still coming out on top, so it doesn't look good for Stack right now.
Yeah, Beep does have an Uber advantage because he's still running that crit streak. So I suppose they're looking at the time. They're thinking, we don't have much time. We can't wait. And the crits is used really, really early, and that door is going to close. And the crit stickies aren't going to hit anyone. Bacon is hiding, but he does get taken down. Nice reflexes there from Fear to take down Bacon with a reactive crit sticky there. And they are going to capture this midpoint. Some cap time going down on mid as well as Hearts jumps in. Chess a little bit on the back foot here. The Uber does get forced, I think.
We're going to see a death ball here. High GPS death ball all the way into the last point.
I mean, Stacked are just kind of, they're all so weak, and if Chess just hold W here, then they could take it all the way to last. But CeeJaey is just getting so many heals in the choke that he's just able to stop anyone walking through. And this is all going in Chess's favour. They're still in control of the midpoint. They're 2-0 up. As long as they're not giving away rounds, the time ticking down just helps them get closer to getting an extra 3 points in this tie. But they are 3 players down at the moment. Bacon getting a lot of pressure on him in the choke. He's having to back up here. And this is where, Stack need to walk forward. Pineapple Wolf is actually dominating Tracker. And huge crit sticky! Takes down Funky. Fragment is able to escape though. Beep does go down to Bacon. Simple Sync's going to reflect kill on Onkaya, but they've got a lot of flags. Only 3 players left alive here for Stacked. One of them is Kazul, who is dead ringing underneath the point. Sinrise is also there, and he's trying to fight a mini at long range, which isn't really going to work. Kazul, oh my word, Kazul actually surfs. He surfs the rocket from the floor on top of the nipple to actually block the point. That is insane.
He's bought his team so much time on second day just by allowing some respawns. That is disgusting play.
Stack didn't even know what was going on. They looked around and were like, someone's blocking the point? Chess are losing a couple of players here, though. They've lost Bacon. The Uber has come in, but they've also dropped Fungi in the Uber. It's only Sinrise, but also Funds gets a little flash in. He's going to walk in. He's probably going to take down Fear here, as he's just getting hammered straight away. Beep is just healing Susie as best he can. Funds is chasing him though. He lands an arrow. Oh wow, good reaction there from Susie to take him down. And Tex is also dominating Tracker now, so there's no sniper for Chess. This is the moment. This is the chance. It's the chance to shine for Stack to get their first round in this season's league, as they've not got one yet. But Onkai jumps in. He's going to land one rocket. He can't hit their shot onto Beep. But oh no, Bacon from a long distance with that missile does land that like 5 HP of chip damage to take down Beep. 4 players left alive for Chess though, and if someone's able to bum rush the last point, he may be able to get the cap, but it's pretty dire on both sides at the moment, Bulow. There's just a couple of players left alive.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, this kind of scrappy, fragmented fight is only going to help Chessclub, because they're the ones who are 2-0, 2 rounds up.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Onkaya and Funds are trying to get some sort of action here on Beep. But they're going to get denied another reflect kill there from Simple 6. And, you know, Beep is running that quick fix. He's trying to get a charge. Doesn't want to run the crits for last, I guess, after dying there. So they're getting some frags, and they have this advantage. So if this push works... Oh! Pineapple Wolf with the headshot absolutely domes Fragmented, so no heals for Chess. This is absolutely the moment for Stack to shine. They're just about to get their quick fix, and they're in the lobby at the moment. They need to start pushing before Fragmented gets up, and if they focus these heals properly and get the kills, they can actually win a round, put it on the board. Fear gets so much damage, takes down Sinrise. Funky gets backstabbed. There's a lot of frags here coming in from both sides, but no one is actually focusing the point yet. Bacon is stood there behind with a mini sentry. MS comes in behind. He's actually going to backstab Bacon and stab the mini sentry. Great play there by the Stack spy. But there's a back cap going on for Chess, and the rest of the Chess players are actually just on the point. But Fear comes in with the stickies. Oh my word, he takes on 2 players, and that's actually going to force Chess to back up and hold on to last. Beep did die there, Bulow. And I think with 1 minute 20, it's pretty much over, but Stack still have a slim chance to get around here.
I hope they do. Just because it'll be funny. But yeah, it was very strange though that they dropped their heavy pushing in at the start just because he was getting denied by the pyro when you have a quick fix, which stops air blast working on you. It's like you really just needed to put the quick fix on the heavy and stop that from happening.
Yeah, I mean the quick fix charge gives you so many heals. It doesn't make you invincible, but it almost does to anything other than sustained fire. 45 seconds left to go. Stacked are just bleeding a lot of players here right now. Beep is he's safe in Big. He's safe. He's got his combo with him, and they are actually getting a few kills here. Actually, more than a few kills. But the Uber comes in and is just used onto Bacon. He's just going to clean up the players around him. Susie's just making a dash for the health back in lobby. Will he get there? No, he's actually. Oh no! Funds is chasing him, lands the milk, and finishes off the frag. With 20 seconds,
I would like to point out that. Well-mannered gamer on Kaya left the game 30 seconds early.
Oh wow. Well, I mean the game's over. I suppose they just don't want to hang around. Maybe he's got stuff to do.
Nobody got time for that. When you're like a 2-time or 3-time Prem champion, ain't nobody got time for that.
Some people like to pad their logs. Some people just, you know, maybe just got.
They
stuff
don't care
to do.
about your damn spreadsheet, CeeJaey. Let it go.
I can't let it go, man. I want to be relevant.
The numbers are so pretty.
But that ends 2-0 after half an hour. So, I mean, I did say the first couple of rounds would last long. I also did say it would probably be rather one-sided. I thought it was going to be like a 4-0 or something like that. But, I mean, Stacked had chances to win rounds there, more than twice. It just seemed that they weren't clinical enough in actually completing that. Like, they weren't converting their advantages into rounds. And Chess, they had a couple of moments and they did it.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to again, I hate calling out individuals for these things, but like when Tex was below that point, he had every opportunity there to just cap the point and put themselves back into, would that have been 2-1 down, and then you would have some real momentum to actually get back into the game, because you'd have won the point. You'd be putting them on the back foot. So yeah, just things kind of fell apart just at the crucial times for Stacked, and Chess were just generally quite solid. I mean, obviously, for some of the stack pushes to work, Chess were by no means perfect, but they were definitely a lot more coherent, I would say, which is quite surprising given that this roster lineup isn't exactly hasn't exactly played together all that often.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes, even from the first week. I mean, if we quickly look at the logs, I think the logs read quite interesting, really. The top fragger was Funds with 37. He's the only person to get over 30 frags, actually, and he did pretty well there. But the next three players are all on Stacked. You know, Susie with 29, Fia also with 29, and Pineapple with 28. Pineapple Wolf got a lot of snipes there. Actually getting more frags, more damage than Tracker. So, Stacked. They had players performing. I just think they just didn't convert it well. They seem to lose players at the wrong time, and which is one of those maps. It's 5CP in general, I guess, where you start bleeding players and you allow the other team to get the momentum and push you point to point. That's when you start to lose it, and we saw that definitely with Chess kind of moving in from the second point and winning those repushes to convert the rounds. And despite Stacks having the moments where they were pushed onto the enemy's last, they just didn't have a successful push. And I don't know, crits and quick fix seemed to be working out well. It was just kind of the execution maybe that didn't work out too well for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Funds, you could see his quality there about cleaning up frags, and I think certainly some of those last pushes he did a lot of work. But it was just a bit slow in general. I think this is what happens whenever you see both teams playing around their heavy a lot on this map. Which is perfectly valid strategy, but neither Down Man really seemed to do all that much. I mean, Fee has a lot of damage stats, but obviously he was taking crits charges and things like that. It was just slow, and at times it got very, very messy, and I think that maybe played in slightly more to the hands of Chessclub with their players maybe being at a slightly higher quality. You see that whilst Stacked had lots of kills on their combo classes, it was the flank of Chess that has all the kills. You see Onkaya and Funds both have very top fragging for their team, and it's very hard on Gullywash to do anything whenever your flank is hanging wide open.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely see the concentration of kills and damage for Stacked is definitely around their combo. And like you pointed out, the flank is definitely the one who seems to be selling for Chess. So, if your combo is doing a lot of work, but your flank is constantly, losing its battles and players are getting behind you and causing you problems, and that's where the issue is. Because I think it seemed Chess's flank were winning their fights and then helping in with the team fights later on, and then they're very capable of doing the cleanup. So we saw Funds getting frags and then going on a 4 or 5 kill streak because he was cleaning up the weak players in the Stacked combo after they'd wiped the Chess combo. So, it was very back and forth, a lot closer than I thought it would be. Like we talked about, this is a rivalry that goes quite far back. A lot of these players weren't here. I think actually the only players who were here in Season 5 would have been Kazul and Beep, who were the two team leaders. But, maybe we're looking... It was quite close on this map. Lakeside, not so much. But, in the end, full 6 points for Chess. And do you think, having seen the first map against week against Strong Opinions, do you see Chess kind of rising up now and challenging for that player spots?
I think with the addition of Funds, getting a really good scout in Highlander is really, really important. And yeah, if they have Tracker and Sniper, that's another high quality player. On Kaya and Soldier, has been there, done that. Bacon was very impressive, especially in Gullywash. If they're able to keep this lineup and find a demo man who works well with them, then, because you see here Fungi only got 13% heals. I'm not really sure that's a style that they would be comfortable with moving forward. But yeah, they're starting to add players to a roster that could maybe challenge Super Dickmans and Strong Opinions.
What do you think about Stacked then? I mean, their first match was against Super Dickmans Juniors, which they lost 6-0, and they've lost 6-0 here today. I mean,
with the Bureau dying, and there's not, you're kind of thinking that maybe on paper those were two of the maybe easier games that Stack were going to face, or at least they're playing Chessclub early in the season before they get their roster fully ironed out. They're playing juniors who are probably the surprise package in Prem. Kind of look, they still have to play Strong Opinions. They still have to play the real Super Dickmans. They still need to play a bunch of Toucans who've been playing well. You do think where are they gonna maybe get the points that they need to not come 7th now? Yeah, at the same time, they did show moments of good play. They just maybe need to work on their cohesion. But whether they're going to be able to come up against other teams who are also working on their cohesion is a different matter altogether.
Yeah, well, we will see how that goes. As we said, this is the last match of the week. We were supposed to have Super Dickmans versus the Bureau today, but unfortunately the Bureau have folded as a team. This is why we saw Funds playing Scout for Chess today. A lot of their players have joined new rosters, and the team is no longer a thing. If you want to know why, you'd have to ask their players. So there's a lot of rumours and a lot of reasons going around, arguments, and people not having the motivation to any Highlander anymore is the reasons that have mostly been given out by the team. So we only have 7 teams left in Premiership Highlander for the rest of the season. So moving into week 3 from now on, we're only going to have 3 matches per week. So that means any teams that were going to play the Bureau now have a bye week. So there'll be some interesting matches coming up next week. We'll have to see how that goes. We'll be playing on PL Borneo. But I've been CeeJaey, I've been with Bulow. Bulow, do you have any shout outs before we leave?
I would like to shout out to Mookie for being the greatest gamer of all time.
Oh, I don't even know. I asked you. I should just do it for you because I always know where it's going to come. But yes, thank you for Bulow for casting with me, and of course we had Viethoofd on the camera today. Thank you to him, as John was otherwise engaged with other commitments. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This has been Stacked versus Tourettes Chessclub. Chessclub taking the full 6 points across the both maps. We'll be back sometime next week to look at some PL Borneo officials, and have a good week. See you next time.